Okay. Hey, everybody. Mark Schweiker with eXp Realty here. In this video, I'm going to talk about who pays what in a closing transaction in North Carolina. So let's get to the spreadsheet. There we go. Okay, we're going to start with the buyer. They're generally going to have to worry about paying bank fees, prepaids, attorneys, and inspections. And before I get into all this, so the whole main takeaway from this is you do not just have to worry about money for a down payment. If you're a buyer, you have to worry about paying for all these fees. So let's take a look at them. So for bank fees, you're going to have this is basically an administrative fee, ballpark around $1,000. It's going to vary per lender. The bank is going to require an appraisal to be done. They will pick the appraiser and make all the arrangements, but they're going to charge you. And something to remember, they will not loan more than the appraised amount. It's very important to know. And then there'll be some other miscellaneous fees. So in this example, we got around $1,600. Keep in mind that you can be some more fees to buy down the interest rate if you want. That's optional, and that will vary based on how much you're buying down. And also just keep in mind that this is basically for a standard loan. If you have a non-conventional loan, other fees could come along with it. So you just have to talk to your lender about that. Prepaids are just a prepayment of the current year, maybe a little bit of next year insurance, taxes, and interest that go into escrow to make sure that those are all covered. I just used $200,000 or $2,000 for this example. It just all depends on the property. So I think 2,000 is just a safe bet for planning purposes. I've seen over 3,000. I've certainly seen less. All just depends on the home that you're buying and the type of loan you have. So now let's get down to attorney's fees and title insurance. Yeah, the attorney fee itself, title search, courier, etc., usually is in the ballpark of around $1,000. The lender is going to require you to get title insurance, even if you're a cash buyer. It's probably a good idea to have title insurance done. If there's a defect in the title, then you're covered. And then there will normally be a fee from the attorney for recording the deed. And inspections, it's totally up to you as to what you want to have done. Most typical types of inspections you're going to find is, the home inspection, termite, radon gas. Certainly, if you've got a well, then you're going to test the water. If you've got septic, you might want to check the septic. Radon gas and well water I haven't read because these are health related. Radon gas in high enough concentrations can cause cancer, which is bad, lung cancer. And well water, if there's bacteria or harmful agents in your water, I think you'd want to know about it. So I wouldn't avoid that. In this example, we've got $1,400 of inspection costs, but if it's city water and no septic, then $700 I think would be a good estimate. So let's see. So in this case, we've got like $5,900 with closing costs if you got well and septic that you want to have inspected. Oops, dang it, I did that. Hang on. Yep, put it back. Okay, 2.4. So the 2% range, 1.8 to 2.5 probably happens most frequently, but it could certainly vary. It all depends on the loan you're getting and the property itself. But just keep in mind that you don't just have to do the down payment. I think gonna have to at least pay $4,000 to $5,000 in most cases. So just, be on guard for that and be prepared. If you do not have the money for the down payment and the closing costs, then what you can do is, in this instance, say you could offer a gross amount of $280, and then at closing you could say seller shall pay at settlement toward any of the buyer's closing expenses. So in this case, what's really happening, the bank loans this amount, this gets deducted to pay closing costs, and then the seller gets that amount. So what you're really doing is financing those closing costs. It's not that the seller is like writing a check, even though it says the seller shall pay. And keep in mind what we said before, that the bank won't loan more than what it appraises for. So it's got to appraise for this much. If it appraises for $275, then you can't have $5,000 of closing expenses paid at closing. And if you don't have the money to do that, then you're going to have to ask the seller to renegotiate. And if the seller won't renegotiate, you could lose your deposit and any other expenses that you already paid. So keep that in mind when you're making your offer. Now for the seller, let's see, for the seller, they generally, most of the time, usually pay agent commissions. In this example, I use 6%. They could expect to get a charge from the attorney for preparing the title. Excise tax is a sales tax. That's $1 for every 500 in sales price. So in this case, you could just see I took the sales price and divided by 500. So that's what you could do for planning purposes. And then you should also count on having to pay your pro rata share of the current year's property taxes, and then whatever your mortgage payoff is. So I hope that was helpful. If you'd like any other information, if you'd like to discuss more, if there's anything else that I could help you with, please give me a call, text, or email. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.